Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dota2 Canada Cup Season 6 playoffs. We are here in the grand finals and game number 3, an all-in game for Elite Wolves if they have to win this one to take it back even, or at least force a game number 4 up against compLexity, who has played absolutely outstanding Dota today. And, well, it's exciting. We've had some great games of Dota, not only here in Canada Cup, but today in Captain's Draft as well here on moonducktv. It's been an absolute pleasure casting for you this week, this past week, and just in general. My name is Mont. As we jump into our last game, potential last game of the day. Today we have, of course, with us Pimp Muckle as always. We have Lurker Derp on stats and Purge as well. Do you think that Elite Wolves can force out this game number 3 into a game number 4, Purge? Do you think it's a possibility?
I think it's definitely possible, but compLexity just absolutely seems like they want to win today. I mean, they're being aggressive in lobby chat. They are playing extremely well. They have some drafts that they're prepared. I feel like maybe they didn't take it super seriously last time they played Elite Wolves. They got 2-0'd. But today it's the reverse side of the coin. I mean, the fights are still very close and the games are still very close, but compLexity definitely seems like the more organized team. They're playing together better. Elite Wolves is making some small item mistakes. They're not moving as tactfully around the map, and it seems like compLexity is the better team today.
It really does. It just feels like they have that extra bit of cohesion, and this is Elite Wolves have been on a huge winning streak. I think a couple of days ago they were on a 9 or 10 game winning streak for a long period of time, which is absolutely outstanding. But unfortunately, they did lose game number 1 and 2. They were so close in both those games really, to forcing out at least a couple of Raxes and maybe even getting those games. And so they could be up 2-0, they could be tied 1-1. Instead, they're down 2-0, and that's all that matters right now. So we're going to jump into the draft. It's Vengeful Spirit picked up for Elite Wolves first, and the Earth Spirit has finally gone through as, well, guess what? Elite Wolves decided to ban out the Lone Druid instead of the Earth Spirit, which they did just about every other game so far.
So Earth Spirit, obviously very good at roaming in the early game. The Rolling Boulder plus Orb of Venom is so dangerous against any mid hero, so having that in the pool is going to be scary. For whoever Elite Wolves picks mid, they go for a Death Prophet. Death Prophet's pretty decent against this due to Spirit Siphon, because if she does get put into a bad situation, at least she's getting some heal out of it. But depending on who compLexity picks to match up against the Death Prophet, could completely change how this game ends up going. But Earth Spirit as a whole has lots of great disables. And other than that, good team fight damage in the late game.
I mean, we've seen this before where you'll pick up a Death Prophet, and this was back in the Shanghai Major Qualifiers, I should clarify. You'll pick a Death Prophet, but the Earth Spirit will roam on you mid and kill you 3 or 4 times. And Death Prophet is pretty susceptible to ganks. Obviously, you do have Spirit Siphon, which is nice to stay alive with, and Silence to a certain extent. But if you gank the DP, she can come back from behind, unlike an Outworld Devourer, who's very bad when he's behind. But Death Prophet, well, she's susceptible to those ganks, much like any mid hero. And Earth Spirit has that effective level 1 Rolling Boulder. That makes him a cut above most other roaming supports, Purge.
Yeah, he's just far better. And the range that it goes, this means that he can be standing in trees, and all of a sudden you get hit if you stand still a little bit too long. Gyrocopter as a pick here is something a little surprising, because we haven't seen too many Gyros recently, but it's a very safe opening for compLexity, and it also gives you a lot of magic damage in single targets, which is a good way to deal with Death Prophet, and it also provides some really good disables. So Gyro's HP is also not so high that Spirit Siphon becomes extremely effective, so Gyro could be a very good hero as a carry to or do early rotations. They can also give them potential aggressive tri-lane options, and maybe even a potential solo mid. They've done that a couple times on compLexity as well.
Limp really loves to play Gyrocopter mid. That's a good point. I completely forgot about that. And I'm surprised Gyro hasn't been picked more this series. I feel like he's not really been banned, at least not in first round. So he's definitely pickable. But, well, I don't know. He's going to be picked now, and compLexity they're pretty damn good with this hero. They played it twice against Elite Wolves in that 3-game series, that best-of-3 series up against them. And they actually lost with it 2 games in a row. So Elite Wolves know how to deal with this, is what I'm trying to get at here. And they can counter it, I think, pretty effectively.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of enjoying watching compLexity play. It seems very clear that they have a lot of strats developed. I mean, they are going to the major, right?
Yes.
They did qualify, so I feel like they've clearly been working on strats, and I wouldn't be too surprised if they're revealing some of them here, because Canada Cup's prize pool grew really big. It's like $40,000 or something like that.
Yeah, 24K for first place.
Like, what is second place?
12.
That's a pretty big difference, and that's not a bad amount of money here for compLexity to take. You know, I don't necessarily see them placing extremely high at Shanghai. They maybe can, but taking a little bit of money going into the event is definitely something worth doing. Now, it might be scary to do those strats with the same vein, because they did play really well at TI, for example. Obviously, very different lineups, but the same core players, obviously, of Swindles and Z-Freak. but maybe they are saving strats. But at the very least, the strats that they whipped out earlier today have been very interesting, and like they look like pretty good solutions to the heroes that they're playing against.
Yeah, I feel like they're definitely maybe showing one or two strats that they're going to use in Shanghai. I would not be surprised to see something like we saw last game. Also, I think it's just really important to take a best of 3 like this in a grand final matchup before you go into a big LAN tournament. Like, that's going to do wonders for your confidence to win a best of 3 or best of 5 series in 3 games up against a very strong South American team. That's huge.
Yeah.
And obviously, we talked about the prize pool. It's very important, but clearly they're, like you said, firing on all cylinders. But for Elite Wolves, this is no pushover team. They might not want to go down here in this 3rd game, and so they're going to do everything in their willpower to try to even this series up and get it back at least to game number 4. And with that, well, they'll ban out the Zeus, they'll ban out the Invoker, and now they have a pick. They don't have much reserve time left. They took a long time with those bans. We'll see what they grab here.
That's one of the nicest things about the way they drafted in the first 2. It's that it doesn't reveal anything. All they know is that there's a support Earth Spirit. That's it. Gyrocopter could be a carry, it could be a mid, it could be anything. This could be their dual mid, for example. They could do Gyro Earth Spirit versus Death Prophet. That gives them really good kill power as well. So it's not really sure which way they'll go. It'll be Faces Void for the offlane on Elite Wolves. I feel like Complexity is also very fine with that. Like Rocket Barrage is, though Faces Void can easily time walk it, it gives you a situation where Faces Void simply takes damage, and a lot of damage, and not for too much mana on Gyro, so I don't even think this is bad for Complexity. They will have to worry a little bit about Chronosphere, but Earth Spirit's got great lockdown, a stun into a silence means Faces Void can't use anything for a while, and they can potentially bully him out of lane, so I think Complexity's really happy with their lineup so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for the Faces Void to last hit. Like, he's going to have to maybe pick up an Iron Talon, head to the off-lane creep camp that we see so often. Yeah, you said you can time walk away, but I just don't see him being able to get that much farm out of this off lane. We'll see if he's going to be more than likely played in the off lane role, or if he's going to be picked up in the safe lane for Ewo. There's a lot of options here. So I like the pick, like you talked about. There is Chronosphere, but it's going to be tough. Also, I think Death Prophet and Faces Void together are a very good combo. That is one thing I do like about this pick.
Yeah, that combo is quite good. Just the physical damage coming out of Death Prophet's ulti with the Wave of Terror is going to be really solid. Tiny's the pick, though, for Complexity. I do like this, though. The Elite Wolves heroes are weak to burst damage. Talking about Death Prophet and Faces Void. If they kill them in a succinct amount of time, then they don't have time to heal. They don't have time to be obnoxious and use their spells. So Tiny carry, potentially roaming, is definitely a good solution. So this very clearly looks like Gyrocopter is going to be mid here. It still could be like an aggressive trial lane, but considering how often Complexity has put Gyro mid, I think we're going to see Gyro go mid, max Rocket Barrage, max Homing Missile, and by the time Gyro hits 2, Earth Spirit's going to rotate over and they're going to try to kill Death Prophet, I think. And then as Tiny goes into the mid game, he's going to have Blink Dagger. That combo with things like Call Down and Earth Spirit's other abilities means that people like Faces Void and Death Prophet have to be really careful. And Witch Doctor doesn't really make that any easier. It's another hero that can get one shot.
I mean, he can't help out with cast, getting help out with his Voodoo Restoration, but you're right. I don't know. This is really... This is a fine pick, certainly, but there's just a lot of game potential coming out for Complexity gaming. You're right. It's more than likely going to be a Gyrocopter mid for Limp. We'll wait and see what is going to be the next couple of picks. They still need perhaps an offlaner here. Something that Swindle can play, and he has a wide hero pool. I actually would not mind seeing Darkseer. Darkseer, Earth Spirit, Darkseer, Tiny. Very strong in the offlane. I think that's a good possibility for them.
And Darkseer Gyrocopter is also really solid. But they do go for a Lich. Lich pretty good for teamfight as well. A lot of nuke damage. Can be decent against Faces Void. Frost Armor will be really good against the damage of Elite Wolves, actually. Witch Doctor ulti is all physical. Faces Void is mostly physical. Death Prophet almost all physical. Well, that's not really true, but Elite's like 70% physical in teamfights. And Vengeful Spirit does some minus armor. So I think the Lich pick's pretty solid here. It's also going to slow Faces Void down when he's chasing people. So
yeah,
it'll most likely be in the offlane. Lich +1 is what we'll see, and they still haven't picked that offlane hero yet.
Yeah, I mean, they have... we used to see a lot of Lich Doom. I think that's an also possibility. And Doom up the Faces Void, maybe, if you want. Doom with the Death Prophet as well. But I don't know. I just don't see that hero enough for me to say for certain that that's going to be the choice. And there's a lot of other options, too. I mean, you can pair Lich with just about anybody because of how good that hero is in lane. So...
Terrorblade band? Wow.
Yeah, the safe laner they need.
I'm a little surprised about that. Wasn't Complexity were the ones that picked Terrorblade in their series last time they played, right?
I think so.
And it didn't go well. I think that was at 2-0 that Elite Wolves did. So I guess they're a little bit scared. I guess they're lacking stuns And they have a lot of burst
10
damage, but if Terrorblade survives the
remaining.
burst, then he kind of just wins fights, I guess. So maybe that's what they're thinking with the TB.
Is this...
5 seconds
Oh,
remaining.
I was gonna say Morphling, but wow, that is a Skywrath pick.
compLexity's
In the
turn
mid
to
lane,
pick.
perhaps, and then send Death Prophet safely?
It could also be Avenge Carry with Sky
Oh,
with
good
Structure
point.
Tri-Lane.
Good point. Very good point. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. We don't see that as much as we used to, Venge Carry, but
Yeah,
it's an
Sky's
opportunity.
it synergizes really well with Faceless Void, obviously. They can kill heroes like Lich and Gyro pretty straightforward. It could be Sky mid, but I just don't expect it. I think they'll just play it standard
10
with Venge Carry,
seconds
and
remaining.
I think that'll be pretty good, because Venge with like a Treads and an Aquila wand in the
5
early game
seconds
will be
remaining.
really good against Gyrocopter if they're pretty comparable levels. Gyro's actually very weak to Venge. The swap and the into the stun with a little bit of follow-up means Gyro dies almost every single time.
Mhm.
But once they get mid-game, I think Gyro will be, even then, still a little vulnerable, because if you're talking about a level 16 Venge or something, a big swap on Gyro with Death Prophet using Spirit Siphon and
10
ulti,
seconds
he's going to
remaining.
get killed almost every single time in those situations. So I think the Venge carry is actually
5
pretty threatening this
seconds
game.
remaining.
Yeah, I would not mind seeing that for Elite Wolves. We could perhaps see something like the Skywrath mid. Title will come out next for compLexity Gaming, and so they have really good team fight. They have armor reduction coming out with the Gush. They have armor with the Lich. They have lots of burst damage. They have a silence coming out from the Earth Spirit, which I think is one of the most important things this game. And it will be a support Skywrath mage, so I think you were right on the money there. It is probably going to be more than likely a Venge carry in Faces Forward offlane.
Yeah, I think that's most likely for sure. It has to be that. It doesn't have to be, I guess, but if you put Skywrath in the mid lane, then it just becomes a really scary matchup. Like, Skywrath Mage is going to easily get wrecked by Earth Spirit, for example. Skywrath Mage has no armor, very low survivability. He's fast, I guess, but a little bit of slow and a homing missile and some right clicks, and Skywrath Mage has virtually no survivability. They have to put Death Prophet mid, I think.
10 seconds
Unless they do like
remaining.
Venge +1 mid, but
Well,
that's probably a mistake.
Dan is playing the
5
Death Prophet, so
seconds
I think
remaining.
you're again right on the money. We're waiting a little bit. Elite Wolves seem to be like AFK or something. I'm not sure. They've fixed it now. They've clarified it. They drew a line.
Yeah,
They want to go bottom clearly.
in a lot of cases, what teams do when they're doing the late pick is just they're trying to figure out who's doing what the lanes are like, who's buying what items, little planning things like that, especially for a big game like this. I'm not surprised they took that time. So this is the best of 5, guys. If Elite Wolves takes this, then they're going to bring it back. But if compLexity takes it, they get first place with a 3-0 shutout. So Elite Wolves need this win really bad.
I think if Elite Wolves win this game, I would give them the edge to win this series, just because I don't
Really?
know how compLexity will react. I think both teams have been playing so well, man. I could see it going either way, honestly, and I think a win here would give Elite Wolves the confidence boost they need to win this series.
All right, they see the enemy team. They
Yeah,
definitely don't
both
want to
teams
fight level
spotted
1, I don't think. Lich is not a good level 1 fighter. Like, Elite Wolves has, like, the best level 1 heroes I've ever seen, actually. The exception of maybe Faces Void
30
is slightly
seconds to
weak
battle.
at level 1, but all these other heroes are amazing.
Yeah, they're all really good. Crypt Swarm or Spirit Siphon, which is Spirit Siphon's actually amazing at level 1. Obviously, you'd like to have Crypt Swarm in lane, but still. And they're just sitting on high ground. There was a Radiant Ward play, so Elite Wolves probably don't know that they're being shadowed by Vision. And they don't have any synergies,
Yeah.
not that I can tell either, which is really
I
unfortunate.
think they placed this immediately upon seeing all 5 of Elite Wolves down there.
Yeah, you're
because with that there, if there is an aggressive tri-lane out of
The
Elite
battle
Wolves, it's going to spot them
begins.
rotating to the mid lane a little bit better.
There's no ping on that ward they just placed down mid. I really like this ward, vision-wise. It gives them just about all coverage on the mid lane that they really need. Not towards the north, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. And it's going to be Limp versus Van, so instead of not going to be the Gyrocopter mid, it will be Limp on the Tiny mid, which is just as good as well, I think. He's got plenty of burst damage. If he gets close enough to the Death Prophet, Van could be in some real trouble.
I like Z-Freak doing this as well. It's very rarely done, but the only reason he feels safe is because he knows that the whole team is on the other side of the map. So he pulls the creep wave past. That means that Ben's just going to have to last hit under tower, which is not easy, and Tide can easily tank these up. So it should be fine.
48 plus 2 in terms of damage. Doesn't have, with the Terror or anything. Should get this last hit, though. He has to hit it once, and he'll be fine. Yeah, he should
It
be
depends. The damage does vary, but he should be okay. On the bright side, or on the downside, he's going to take a lot of creep damage. It's cost him at least 1 tango there.
Yeah, he's already used his first tango, so we'll keep our eyes on his top lane as we move across the map to other areas of interest. And it's going to be Hanskin and Lip. This just might be a dual lane, at least for the early stages of this game. Do you think they're going to keep this for a long time, or is Hanskin going to rotate elsewhere?
I mean, we'll probably see Mystico do a little bit of roaming on Scarith Mage. I think that's most likely.
Avalanche toss back. Yeah, there it goes. Spirit Siphon. This could be your first blood as Van gets caught too far up. He's going to pop the Fairy Fire, but Z-Freak is rolled in with the Rolling Boulder, and Van's going to try to head towards the south. And they get the Frost Blast. That'll be your first blood going the way of Hanskin. So it just takes that little bit of a position in the air. I mean, it's not even that much, and they get the kill.
All right, that's pretty good for them. Start the game off right for them. Tidehunter is almost level 3 here in the off lane due to that first side pull. So he's going to be pretty happy. Iwo is getting free farm, but again, it's on Eventual Spirit, so I don't know how well this is going to transition into him creating pressure on the map. I think it's great for late game team fights. There's a lot of BKB counters Avenge has naturally, but in the mid game end, he's going to need a BKB, I think. There's Chain Frost, there's Ravage.
Yeah, you're
there's a lot of things that are going to make Avenge a underwhelming carry compared to other heroes that they could pick.
And not even just him, but the rest of the cores in general. You don't generally like to see Faceless Void or DP getting a BKB, but that could be an option. Obviously, Yules can dodge a couple of these spells and keep you alive. But Van's already not... I mean, this is what I was talking about, getting ganked early on in the game. They could keep focusing him down, keep putting pressure on him, and that will pretty much break the morale of Van and Elite Wolves in the mid lane. So he has to be very careful. He has to CS from afar. He's got to last it with Cryptstorm. He's already pretty far up here. Onskid could have went for Frostblast and Lift could have walked up. So Van has to be very careful with how he's playing this.
It really is a tough lane here. He's got 2 Spirit Siphon though, almost 2 charges, so if he does get tossed back, at least next time he can do a double Spirit Siphon for HP. But he's gonna maybe even need to go boots first. I don't know if he can afford to go bottle first.
Well, he's saving up for it.
A little bit of stacking for Lich as well, just to accelerate the Tiny later.
Yeah, Tiny is and it's just going to be Tiny as well as Tide, because you just take pretty big stacks. Both of them can farm extraordinarily well. I want to say, though, 21 last hits. Venge is doing well. He's going to get a match missile top. There's the cast coming out as well. This should probably be the next kill. They get the Anchor Smash off. They do lose the Skywrath bottom while it's all happening. Kraken will not keep him alive, sadly.
It was really close.
Yeah.
But Vengeance Aura obviously really countering that in a lot of ways. Basically gets you 12% of the 30% that Anchor Smash is reducing. Or 45, sorry.
JJ, did you end up seeing that kill bottom lane on Scarlet?
Yes. He got bottle smashed rolling afterwards, and then he got wrecked.
Alright, so just typical Earth Spirit contribution.
Typical Earth Spirit, OS Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, as much as you guys are hating on Earth Spirit right now, like, Skywrath Mage is still an extremely squishy support. Like, it doesn't take more than 2 heroes right-clicking and 1 or 2 disables to kill that hero. Yeah. If you have 0 armor, it just makes a massive difference. And
Z-Freaks, he's accomplished a lot already, man. He's level 3, he's got his Orb of Venom, he's got his boots ready to go. Hold that thought, Cat's gonna fly through. Here's the Spirit Siphon, gets off the Avalanche in time, and it looks like they won't be able to chase him down. And Van will grab the Invis Rune, as he's got 12 last hits to the 20. 20 of Limp Mid. That is a Tiny with 20 last hits. Damn.
That's the advantage, man.
Here's the Boulder Smash, beautifully done. Frostblast, Rolling Boulder in. See you later. Toss will bring him down. That
was
is
so well done.
Typical Earth Spirit contribution. Top lane, Cask, as well as Magic Missile Fly Swindle. Last right click will go from Ewo. Give me that kill. Big goddamn watermelon. See you later.
I think it would be really funny if you to like genuinely be mad at somebody, because I like that just sounded so much like that was your attempt at swearing, and it was hilarious.
Well, it's hilarious because it's like, what? Why is it hilarious though?
It was so innocent. It was so goddamn innocent.
So innocent? What?
You just called him a big goddamn watermelon, like, or something like that. Like, that was nothing, man.
And now I feel bad about myself.
It's okay.
Really.
So Swindle's having a tough time, but the rest of the lanes are going really good for complexity. That kill in the mid lane probably shouldn't have happened because there was a Dire Ward spotting out the Earth Spirit, but I think he just didn't anticipate dying there. But with a nice Boulder Smash, and then that guarantees the Rolling Boulder, and then everybody gets the follow-up. Easy kill on Van now. He's going to be punished all game.
Yeah, this is the biggest problem. Top lane, though, here we go. Cast flying through. Swindles is going to get some help here momentarily from Z-Freak. Yeah, I just don't see Van having a good game. Like, they need to get him involved in getting last hits or getting kills. Like, he's a bottle, but he's not even at his boots yet. They're going to find out Hanska. The smoke was broken, and that's it. Like, that's going to be the end of the gank, I feel like. He's going to head bottom lane still, and JR might get ganked, but he shouldn't, considering they saw him rotate down bottom.
Surely he won't just expect one hero there, but will Death Prophet be there is the question. He's not slowed at all yet.
They should not dive this, I don't think. Yeah, they just needed level 6 for a smash. Boulder Smash will come through. Rocket Barrage silences up. He's like, please don't kill me again. Time walk away. Smash might be the one to die. He'll pop the Fairy Fire. Quickstorm will go through as well. A couple of rotations coming up from Z-Freak and Hanska, but that's it. And luckily, both teams will keep their heroes alive.
That was nicely done by Chessie. I like that he chose not to use his spell when he got time dilated. I feel like a lot of players forget about that ability and how it works, and they use spells and it slows them.
I don't know. Swindles is maybe having just as bad of a time as, of course, Van is mid. Doesn't have Ravage, he's close to it. They've got Magic Missile back up into it. Swindles is like, well, I guess I guess I could just try to TP out, but
Why did he go
he's
that way?
gonna try to eat his way through the tree line, and he's instead gonna get blocked out. But down bottom, it's gonna be Van. He pops up the Spirit Siphon. He needs a kill. Here comes the call down. He's about to fall. They've already lost one. Rolling Boulder in, not on the mark, but Limp will find the second kill. Now they might find the third one. Smash is in trouble. He just gets up his level 6. He's got Chrono now. He can use it to try to get away. He doesn't have to, however, as he time walks away. And it just... compLexity are styling on them, it feels like.
Yeah, it is still 5-3, so it's a little close, but the Death Prophet is basically forced to roam right now because she can't lane. And that is a really bad position for a Death Prophet to be in. She's got 16 less hits and 3 deaths. She's not 6 yet. Tiny is 7, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's 800 gold towards his Blink Dagger, past the Power Treads and Wand that he already has. He's way ahead. If he gets his Blink Dagger a little sooner, then that's just going to be Death Prophet getting one-shotted. And if the game transitions into a Tiny starting to continuously one-shot the enemy mid, compLexity just runs away with the whole game. There's like no way they don't win at that point.
I mean, it's going to come down to, I think, a big Chronosphere followed up with like Exorcism and Crypt Swarm. If he could get perhaps 2 in a Chrono and get a double kill for Van, that doesn't necessarily get the game back even or get the Death Prophet back even with the Tiny, but boy, does it help a lot. But that is like optimistic at the best.
Yeah. He's doing a little bit of jungling to try to catch up here since he's so worried about the Tiny in the mid lane. The rest of E-Wolves, though, DD picked up on Venge. You can maybe get a kill with that.
Yeah, that's the one thing they have going well is Venge is doing very, very well. Aquila, Bottle now up, Fairy Fire, Wand, Treads. The early game items are there, and there are plenty for E1, the Vengeful Spirit.
Tide's farming pretty well. Despite dying 3 times, he's got 41 CS. It's actually not terrible for him. He's got Ravage now, level 7. If you're wondering why he got so many Kraken Shell levels, it's a good solution to heavy right clickers, actually. Makes it very hard for you to die in lane. He was quite tanky, just a little bit too much damage from Venge led to him dying.
It's so hard to deal with that Venge damage, especially when he gets a point in Vengeance and Weave of Terror.
Yeah.
It's just difficult to deal with, even when you get the Anchor Smash off.
He's actually taking almost no damage from these Ancients right now. He can just endlessly jungle these. It's not super fast. He should stack this here. We'll see if he does.
Radiant's top
This one. Slightly
nope.
inefficient.
Yeah, that's...
He should probably pull those back and stack it.
Maybe he was concerned about the amount of damage it would have done with 2-stack, but I don't think that was...
No, it wouldn't do any more damage, though, because Anchor Smash, you reduce all their damage and you have the shell, so...
Good point, good point.
Maybe he didn't want to spend the time to continuously jungle for the next stack, but... I don't know, he could have been more efficient there, I think. At the very least, doing the stack's probably worth it.
He's gonna head top with the rest of his crew. Z-Freak and Chessie smoked up and ready to try to kill, and they really want the Venge. But guess what? They, I think, had... That ward didn't really provide them anything, but down bottom lane, they're gonna lose the Lich almost immediately. I barely had my camera on him, and he just dies almost instantly.
Yeah, they basically did exactly what compLexity did, which was smoke their carry +1 and go to the offlane. So, compLexity's not going to find anything because of that.
Oh my lord, Van is still not level 6! This is an awful
bad
game
sign.
for him.
is under attack.
It's just tough. He's not playing bad, it's just the team that he's playing against is very difficult to deal with. You can get a bounty rune. Oh, he's praying for bounty rune right now as the bottom tier 1 tower is going to get taken. Van will grab that up. That'll get him his level 6, thankfully. But top tier 1's going to get traded, inevitably.
Tiny's about 200 from Blink, though. Or 300, I guess.
And he has Treads, too? Oh my lord.
Yeah, he's hard. He's got a haste ready. He's going to go for the kill on Death Prophet.
Oh, Van, not again. He's got a couple of heroes nearby. They're getting closer and closer.
I don't know, man. This doesn't look good. Well, the other heroes are wrapping around. At least they'll... If they go in for
we might see a huge fight. TP's gonna come in, and here comes Limp. He's got the haste rune, Van in trouble. He's got Exorcism, but he's about to fall. Spirit Siphon will go. Death Ward, they get the Chrono off. Limp, he'll get out of it. Actually avoids it just narrowly. Crypt Swarm, now the Chain Frost coming through. He'll fall. Hoskin will go down to the full Death Ward duration. On the other side, Z-Freak time dilated up. Misoku will go down to the Chain Frost. Looks to be a 2 for 2 in the end. Smash has got his time walk. Goes the wrong way, but the Arcane Bolt will get the kill. If Tiny had died there, Van would have been great, but now Ravage into call down, and Evil walks into his doom up in the high ground. Ay. Oh, he got tossed? My bad.
Yeah, that was pretty good for compLexity, considering that E-Wolves was more set up for that than compLexity was. I think that was pretty good for you Wolves. They got about 2 kills, or 1 kill, 2 kill, 1 kill. They killed
kills
Lich and or Spirit, I think.
2 kills.
But they
Yes.
lost their Death Prophet, they lost their Witch Doctor, they lost their Venge. That's pretty expensive.
Yeah, they lost 2 of the big 3 cores they
And
have
they
in
have
this
Blink
game.
now. He's gonna go try to get a kill here.
Yeah, he's gonna look for Masoku or Mystico, but they're not gonna find it, instead they'll just take the tower.
Dire's middle
Blink
tower
Dagger on Tiny,
has
the average is
fallen.
12.23. The fastest is currently held by Van at 7.45, and today he's got it at 11.05. Definitely an impressive time, considering... Well, not really considering anything. He just had a really good lane. That's really it, in a nutshell.
He's fearing the Blink. And then he's like, wow, I would have died. That could have been me.
Yeah. So, pretty much everybody from Late Wolves feels right now. I guess maybe Smash can survive, but... Not the easiest thing in the world.
I'll take that.
Alright.
Definitely a tough game. All these guys just have to focus on not getting one shot.
Yeah, and the Chrono's down now. That was almost... somehow that Tiny got just on the edge of the Chronosphere, and with the haste, he was able to dodge, which is so unfortunate. They have the Tiny of the Chronosphere. That fight goes pretty damn differently, in my opinion.
Z-Freak's gonna die, it looks like. Smoke gets broken. Will they realize? They don't realize.
Oh, they do not know there's another Spirit there. Mystical will see it now. Because of shot, Ancient Seal gets it off in time. Z-Freak now gonna get Magic Missile up. There's the Mystic Flare. Nice kill. Nice roam. Big pick off.
It was more a funny kill. He just like followed them through the jungle, but because it was nighttime, they didn't realize him. And the Skywrath Mage also didn't notice that his smoke broke, so it was kind of a sloppy play, if anything, from
What
Evil
was he
there.
gonna try to do? Even if he walks up there, just get his magnetize off and then all visibilities? I don't know.
No, I mean he didn't see them. He
Oh, he didn't?
was just walking
He's
through the
very
jungle.
close.
They broke smoke, but they couldn't see each other.
Yeah. Oh, there's the
Those
Chrono
guys
on the Swindle. He's going to get caught. They've got the Blink Tank ready for Tiny. Look at that Death Ward damage. The Magic Missile will fly out as well. They need one more right click from Smash, and he's actually somehow surviving. The
gonna
Arcane
die.
Bolt will do the job, however, but Smash will get traded up in the end. Toss going through onto Evo. He's got Magic Missile in one. Chess is going to work. They have level 1 Wave of Terror. He's got the Vegetor. Maybe swap out Masoku. Yes. Masoku will try to TP Chainfalls to stop the TP, and Evo will try to do so, but nah, he's going to fall here. Toss will come out, and he'll go down. 3 dead on Evo's side, and they're going to lose a 4th as Mystico's about to fall in compLexity now. That is a huge team fight. That'll provide them a very big early game advantage, and this is already looking pretty bad for Elite Wolves here.
I just realized that compLexity have 2 rock-based heroes. It's pretty cool. That's synergy,
There's a lot
man.
of granite. There's a lot of granite in this game, or whatever particular mineral they are.
Well, Olymp has gone for a smorgasbord of minerals. It's got some ice and some ruby things.
He have like one of the ice arms? Yeah, he does. And
Maybe
the
like
Scarlet Quarry.
fuses the blood of his enemies into his rocks or something.
That's... Tiny seems like almost like a cuddly guy, but that makes him seem way more dangerous and crazy when you say it like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to cuddle this guy. I maybe like pet him for like 5 seconds, be like, "That was nice, thank
You'd
you."
get craggy. You'd get craggy, actually.
That's a good point, actually.
You're like hugging him, all of a sudden like a rock falls under your head. You're like, what? Oh, okay, I'm dead now.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't take 55 damage. There's no way. I like sit in a chair all day.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We're some pretty weak humans. Elite Wolves are gonna head into Roche, and this is, if it works, a play that. Oh no! 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 Okay.
Limp's invis here. He's gonna break the smoke on Witch Doctor, I think, and then I think Witch Doctor might die. We'll see. He may or may not get vision.
I don't know about that. Pause.
Oh,
I don't want to
it
question
breaks.
too
The smoke breaks.
much. Limp.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're good.
Rune. Roche
I think Witch
oh, they
Doctor
need to
saw
wave
him.
of terror. They need to make sure they don't wave of terror in this. Oh, he's going for this. He knows.
don't know if he knows.
Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He's wrapping around for a tier 1. He wants to see if somebody comes bottom so he can kill them.
That wave. Did he see it? He might have. There's
He
a
did,
board
he
here.
did.
He saw that.
He's gonna go in Roche. Will he go?
Roche is gonna go down. Smash will grab the Aegis, and he won't be in there in time. Great play from Elite Wolves to try to get some semblance of control back. Limp is still in biz. It's about to run out. They'll see him. He'll blink away. Mystico looking for a concussive shot. This could be a huge kill. Ancient Seal. He's going to try to TP out, swap away. Now the Death Prophet, or rather the Death Ward comes out. Avalanche will go, almost bringing down Masoku. He's going to try to find that kill. They have to expend a lot of time to find that hero, but they get it done. That's a big pickup.
They needed that really bad. First they get the secret Roche and the Tiny
Dire's
afterwards.
middle tower is
Tiny
under
didn't really
attack.
know where they would be, and he was a little bit hopeful about his blink. Definitely very greedy of him to go for that, and he's going to be kicking himself for that death.
I mean, if this game goes to Elite Wolves, that was going to be the turning point, I think. But,
I mean, taking the Roche was unfortunate, but not the biggest deal in the world. But the dying to them afterwards was definitely preventable.
Van call down's gonna go, and he's gonna pop a phase boot. He's gonna try to exorcism. He's actually ran out of mana now as he got the Spirit Siphon. He's got exorcism, but the Chain Frost will come in. The last right click and Chissy will get the kill. And Van, just for some reason, decides to stay around a tier 1 tower mid that it no longer exists without anybody next to him on his team. You could say that, okay, he really needs farm and he needs to find it, but that's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's
They're
a
gonna
tilted
jump in,
player,
rolling
man.
boulder coming through. The silence comes down as well. That's a huge magnetized complexity. Will easily find too. And Evo does not have the Aegis. That's on the Faceless Void. He'll fall. That is a armed Venge going down. TP on Chessie. Can they get this kill? They have Chronosphere ready to go. Smash is already taking a lot of damage. He'll pop the Chrono. Death Ward will fly. Chessie should end up falling here. The Chrono doesn't last that long. Rocket Barrage will go and Smash will stay up and alive. Even if he didn't, he had Aegis. Big pickup for him. They're getting chased down. Tiny looking for that blink toss to have a combo. Now he'll find it, and he just jumps immediately back. That was really cool looking. That was insane, actually.
He was playing with him, man. He had Avalanche on cooldown, so he was waiting to see if Witch Doctor was slow, in which case he'd blink dodge it, and he ends up getting the Avalanche kill. He just really wanted to style on that guy. The Witch Doctor also knew he's dead. He's like, oh god, that's a tiny. What do I do? Dodge it, dodge it, dodge it. Alright, attack him and then run. Didn't work.
And then he just got destroyed.
Did you see Chessie's missile get wrecked by the Chronosphere as well?
Oh, yeah.
It's when a missile's in Chrono, it dies, right?
Yeah, we saw that. We didn't know that was a thing until recently.
If that
we're like,
hit
wow, that works.
the Void, I think he would have lived, actually. But
Yeah,
obviously, it would have passed into the Chronosphere and it wouldn't have hit the Void. So
I think that's really cool that they changed that to be a thing. Like, it's just like it's an inanimate object that all of a sudden just dies because it hits like this giant bubble of nothingness.
I feel like that would be more likely for a sentient creature to die in that, not like a robot or like a missile. Unless there's like some dude in that little missile that's like doesn't want to live anymore when time stops and he gets confused. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe he just gets really panicked and he accidentally presses the detonate button instead.
It's like, oh god, what's going on?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm dead.
Exactly. That's
Man,
probably what's happening.
If there was, yeah, we're just gonna forever now think that there's a little dude in a homing missile every time he fires. If a little man controlling the homing missile, that makes sense as to why it's homing. I could see that.
True. Alright, Tidehunter's got level 2 Ravage now. Max up, Arcane Boots, no Blink Dagger, but if he gets in a good position, it could be really big here for complexity.
Yeah, he's got a smoke. Smash just have his time walk. He's gonna see him, I think, run around the corner. I think the smoke broke. He saw it with the Observer Ward too. They've got Chrono at 14. He's got Aegis. They're gonna go on him. Boulder Smash the silence up as well. And there'll be the Avalanche coming through. The toss up into Misoku. The Ravage will fly. It'll hit onto everybody. The call down. See you later, Elite Wolves. Here's your one-way ticket back to the well via death. And Chessie will get a double kill. And now pick up the Void. Get silenced up as well. Beautifully done from Z-Freak. There's the toss. That will provide the kill. That is a 5-man wipe, I guess. It's 4 plus 1. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Van got out.
Surely tossing Tidehunter does extra damage, right?
It must. It's huge.
I mean, it should. They were sitting far right there. I don't know if they were messing around or if they were just anticipating just in case the Void cut right. But they get the kill and win a big team fight there. This is looking more reminiscent of how they were winning in the early game.
Yeah, they had that one Roche / couple of kills they lost, but they are playing 5-man now. They have Ravage. They've called. They already used Ravage, but they are still. There's no reason not to push. The exorcisms have not been useful for the Death Prophet. I was a bit unsure about the pick to begin with, and she's really, I think, been the biggest issue for Elite Wolves. This game, she has done absolutely nothing.
Well, yeah, getting first blooded makes all the difference in it. Like, she shouldn't be Avalanche tossback at the early stages of the game. She always has to be worried about that because it just guarantees her death. Her armor is not high enough. Putting a slow on top of that with Lich means that she dies. And those few kills that happened, they just completely changed the game. Meant that she can't lane, and then it means their overall gold gain is way lower than their opponents. And then it means that the Tiny, who's so good at ganking, gets a fast Blink Dagger, which accelerates them further. And just messed up everything. If it would have gone a lot more even in the mid lane, then maybe the Death Prophet could shift to other lanes, push, gank, things like that.
Just felt like Van was out of position when he died, for First Blood. He just walked too far up. I don't know why he would do that.
That's literally all that happened. He walked a little bit too far up. Limp immediately saw that. Avalanche walked up and tossed back into the tower range. So it was nicely played by them, but it still requires the Death Prophet to be too close to the Tiny. He should be basically sitting at far range and getting last hits that way. So maybe Limp was maybe a bit far up on the creep wave, but it still comes down to Death Prophet getting too close to the Tiny.
Speaking of getting too close, Smash is going to get jumped on. There's the avalanche. The call down comes in. The toss came through as well. Then he's a kill. Mystico is going to try to make his way out as well. The homing missile flew through, but couldn't quite chase him down.
So what does this guy in the missile do now?
I guess he's just like, I have a target. I must go. I have to fall all the way.
I definitely would have aborted by now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's
he
dead.
made it.
He did his job. That guy's awesome. I'm actually super excited for it. I have no idea why I'm so excited for this, dude. There's swap in onto the Limp. He might get caught. There's going to be the HCL. Mystic Flare flies through the Death Ward. Limp will fall, but they get the BKB onto Chessie, and Ewa will go down. They have to cancel the Death Ward coming through. There's another balance coming in. This Chain Frosts are insane. The cast will fly. Now the Exorcism. Can they bring down Chessie? Van doesn't have a Yule Scepter. Here comes Swiddle. Gets silenced up. Now the Spirit Siphon coming out. They're looking maybe for a Ravage. Call down will go. The Exorcism will bring him down. And Van, Chronosphere keeps him alive. The Exorcism going to work. They're turning it around. The cast bouncing through. Swiddle can't get off the Anchor Smash as the cast bounced in again. Masoku will end up falling, it looks like. And so, too, maybe will Van. Now he'll stay up and alive. Z-Freak getting chased down. Magnetize on cooldown. Already used it. Spirit Siphon. Good Boulder Smash. But look at that damage. They need one more right click. He'll earn himself. And Z-Freak with an insane Boulder Smash will be able to survive. Can they get a bash? Oh my god. Smash, are you kidding? And he's still alive. He's trying to deny himself and roll through. He's got Rolling Boulder in 16, and Smash is having to work for this bad boy. Time walk in, the last right click will finally go.
15% chance there to bash, and he gets it on the first hit. He maybe had 2 hits chance, but what a fight from Elite Wolves. Like, the crazy part is the Venge literally had to sacrifice herself just to get the first kill. But just having that one hero dead changed everything, because the damage potential of Complexity was so much less with Tiny down.
That's a huge kill. Provides Van 2,200 gold in the bank. The Arcane Rune. He's got Drum now. I don't know, man.
Well, it's going to give him a soul booster at least. That's pretty nice to have. But they don't have Exorcism yet. They can't fight just yet.
Here we go. Limp's going to jump in. Avalanche won't connect. Ancient Seal. They turn on this concussive shot. He's pretty far up. The rest of the team, however, is coming. They have called down, I'm sure, ready to go. And pretty good back coming up from Elite Wolves.
I think if they all instantly turned, they could have killed Tiny there. But I think they anticipated the enemy team being a lot closer than that.
Nash has an Aghanim Scepter, by the way. Throwing that out there.
That's good. He actually didn't get Blink first, though, which is a bit unusual. Most Faceless Voids will always go Vlad's into Blink into Axe. So he skipped the Blink Dagger. Might make it a little harder to land Chronospheres, but either way, lowering the cooldown is really important.
He has no mana. This 2-3 tower is essentially dead. And they don't have Cliff. They might just lose Rax here. It's not great. They do not have at least Earth Spirit. They're going to swap out. There's the Magic Missile. The call down will go. Mystic Flare is missed completely because of the great Force Staff coming out from Hanskin. That actually saved Limp more than likely.
Yeah,
they'll get the 2-3 tower, though. Which is
that was a really good Force. It would have been a lot of Focus Fire otherwise. So as long as they swap, or Force Staff, whoever gets swapped, I think they're fine. Because the major damage that Elite Wolves have is like Witch Doctor ulti, Exorcism, and Skywrath ulti. And as long as they're not taking, as long as they get away from the Death Ward and from the, what the heck is Sky's ult called? As long as they get away from that damage, then they should be able to stay alive.
Jump in. They're looking for a potential kill bottom. They can't find it. Drum Sharp's going to be popped as well. They really want to kill here. Mid lane, they're going to find Van and Z-Freak. Nah, I don't think he can get that kill.
This is why he needs a blink.
Radiant's middle tower.
Time Walk's just not far away.
Oh, yeah,
far enough, you know.
But I like it because in a high ground defense, it's huge.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under
Anyways.
Well,
attack.
Van is doing his best to get up to his Mystic Staff, but jungling with right clicks, I don't know if this is a good way to do it,
No,
unfortunately.
ancient stacking with the right clicks especially. It's just not going to work. They'll actually get 2 towers. Actually, no, they deny one of their own and they take the tier 2 tower top lane. Here we go, though. Elite Wolves have smoked up and they're looking for a bite. Van is not there, however.
I don't know why. No, he should be here.
Rondo's about to fly, jump in. Oh, he hits up Chessie. That BKB is not going to be useless. Death Ward comes through. They'll pick up one. They'll back force. Chain Frost up. It'll hit onto Smash. That is it. He'll try to take away. Great jump in from Limp. He'll find Smash, and he will not get out alive. Misoku might go down as well. He's got no TP. He does. He'll use it. No. Almost stayed alive there. Okay.
That was really close.
That's just... I don't know, man. That wasn't great.
I like their gank. It was good, but they needed to get out fast, and unfortunately for them, all of complexity was ready to go. So that's the problem with Chronosphere again, is that it buys your opponents a little bit of time to get kills. Void is just a disabler. If they had like 3 nukers, he would have died instantly.
Yeah.
But just getting an Earth Spirit for that isn't going to be worth it, because now they take Roche. They needed nobody to die for that to work. Or they needed to get map control and then take Roche and then go for things like that.
I mean, again, Van wasn't there, and this is a bigger issue was that he just doesn't have a blink so that he can time walk in, blink out, or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tactically chose not to put Van there. They didn't want to necessarily commit everything to that. They just wanted to get a little bit of a gank and to back off. And they can do that now, because all of their cooldowns are very low. It's Witch Doctor ulti, it's Sky ulti, and it's Faces Void ulti. They're all like 60 seconds now, with the exception of Witch Doctor. So just getting a little kill like that and creating some pressure on the map is going to buy a lot of space for Death Prophet. So it was a smart thing to do, but they didn't get out. They lost 2 heroes for it, and they lost Roche. So it was a little bit too close to enemy towers.
So do you think this is going to be a Desolator or a BKB that is going to be picked up by the Vengeful Spirit?
That's a hard question, actually. Tiny does have AC now, so Deso won't actually do that much. But there's ice armor on everybody, so they have a lot of survivability. Deso would help deal with that, but I honestly think he needs BKB to stay alive, because every time he swaps, he just dies afterwards.
It's getting close to it. He has almost enough money for one, but not the other. Smash now has his Chronosphere ready. He's going to jump in. He finds the Chrono on a chest. Banana, the Limp, and Evo gets destroyed. Mystic Flare, can they bring him down? Guardian Greaves will fly. He's got the Aegis, I believe. No, actually, he doesn't. Still, he pops the BKB in time. Evo has to buy back. Sadly, Smash does not have his. This might be the beginning of the end here, as Van has not popped his Exorcism yet. Looking to try to just bait this out as much as possible. Guess what? Toss Avalanche, say hello, and say goodbye. Osoku, Chain Frost will fly onto him. 3 dead. Evo and Elite Wolves getting overrun. And compLexity will take a team fight that might just end the game right here and now, Purge.
There's no way this push stops at all. Like, Death Prophet's dead, she can buy back, but she's not going for it. I think Elite Wolves is just saying it's over. Like, I guess if he buys back, it's not worth it, because his team would be dead anyways, he wouldn't be really ready to defend, but they're going to get at least 2 racks here. Yeah. And that is almost too much to come back from at this stage.
The Makers might come out as well here. They have up in 39 seconds Evo. The Glyph will come through. They could even send somebody top lane to try to take down the tier 3 even faster. You could see Mystico is pretty close nearby, but unfortunately he can't do much. And compLexity have played so damn well in the first 2 games. Here in the 3rd game, they played even better and are right knocking on that door for that 24k prize pool.
Yeah, and they're playing ultra safe as well. They take the 2 racks and they back off. They've got an Observer Ward on the high ground as well. Everything's pretty one-sided at this stage. I mean, Lich is more farmed than the highest person on Elite Wolves, so I think they could have sat top and just ended it, but it's so much safer just to not worry about getting Chronosphere. They'll get a smoke up later when their ultis are off cooldown, and they'll go for a fight, pick off a hero, and then finish the game.
I feel like the series, how close the series actually was, is not indicated by either this game or the score of the series. Smash is going to get tossed all the way back onto that siege creep. It's pretty funny to see. Mystico is going to get caught yet again. 3, 4 right clicks will do the job. Jump in, Swindles finds the Gush as well. Anchor Smash will go. Evo is already bought back, and he's going to get tossed into the air and will die yet again as his body falls to earth.
That's going to be it.
Chain Frost, GG is called. compLexity are your Dota2 Canada Cup Season 6 champions, and they will earn $24,000 for first place. And congratulations to them with an insane performance throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, man, and that's after losing 2-0 to Elite Wolves in the winner bracket. So pretty amazing to see them come through in 3-0 in response, but they played so good today, and it's going to be pretty fun watching them going into Shanghai and seeing how different their strategies are, and if they can keep this level of play up.
There's a good chance that they can, and I hope to see them perform well in Shanghai. They end the game with 669 GPM for the Tiny, 16 fantasy points. Limp had an outstanding series along with Chessie. Zephyr, in fact, all of the compLexity players did extraordinarily well here in this tournament and in particular in today's games. And we're not going to have a post-game report today, so I'm going to just give a little bit of time for Pimp to say some things. Pimp, do you have anything you want to say before we head on out today?
No, just incredible play by compLexity. I would have never thought I would 3-0 them, considering how one-sided of a stomp it was from E-Wolves, actually, who sent them down in the lower bracket. Considering that, impressive play from compLexity. They look dominant in every game. I don't think we can really take like so much away from it. It was just like a pretty solid laning stage from E-Wolves, some good mid-game decision making, and then suddenly E-Wolves always just kind of lost their whole trail. Like, they just got off and just never kind of came back. It was pretty heartbreaking to see because the E-Wolves, they could have had game 2, they could have had this game as well. In some stages, the first game kind of as well. It could have gone either way, and it's got to be heartbreaking, man. Like no one cares if you lose. If you're second or if you lose. Like it's like you win, and that's a championship. And this Dota2CanadaCup, like it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's every good NA team in this, except EG of course. And that's such a tough competition. And EVOL securing this could have been pretty good, but compLexity, they qualified for the major for a reason, and they showed it right here, and that was pretty cool. I really did.
Pretty outstanding play from really both of these teams. Elite Wolves had about a 9 to 10 game winning streak going into this tournament, I believe, or to the grand finals, and they just came up a little bit short. You talked about why. Games 1 and 2, they had some good chances to win. Game 3 was a bit harder for them, but still, there was a good chance, at the beginning of the game to do some good things. Purge, do you have anything to say before we head on out of here?
I just want to say thanks for casting Captain's Cup and our Captain Canada Cup. Blah.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for working on this, especially the admins as well. It was really fun to work on this. JJ as well, good job. You did all the production and camera work with some rare exceptions where you're busy with other stuff. So just thanks everybody for working hard on it. And thanks to all the viewers for watching.
Well. Yeah. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Thanks to, of course, our stats people, Montpax, Lurkaderp, LPQ,
and
everybody else, and JJ. And
thanks for everyone who purchased the chest. Because think about this, you have a 20k base price pool for the NA scene, for the not super tier 1 scene, and then it's 40k. This is such a huge boost. Tournaments like this, these are why the scene is actually evolving. This is why the scene can produce such high tier teams such as EG, or some incredible players like Moonbjenner. It's just amazing to see how these tournaments, which aren't on the level of say a major tournament, can really help the scene grow and can make sure that people who aren't yet at the top can try to thrive and can try to improve, and it's just an amazing tournament, honestly.
Yeah, I've been with Canada Cup since season 2. I've been here for a ton of this tournament, and I've seen it grow from a small tournament with only a couple thousand in prize pool to 40k now, and getting some of the top teams in America, both South and North, and hope to see it grow even further, perhaps maybe to an international stage. Probably not yet anyways, but later on down the road, we will see this tournament continue to grow. So big shout outs to Bill as well as Anthony, Joker, doing a great job running this tournament, admitting it. Every game started pretty promptly. We had very few delays and very few times without games each evening. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I hope you guys, the viewers, thought so as well. We couldn't have done it without you guys here, and we got a lot of viewers as well for a lot of the series. And hopefully you guys will tell your friends about the next season, which should be coming up pretty soon here. Season 7 for Canada Cup. Should be a lot of fun to watch as well. With that said, this is, of course, the Dota2CanadaCup Season 6. We're about to sign off. compLexity Gaming, congratulations to them. If you've enjoyed the cast, make sure you follow us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/moonducktv. If you're watching in-game, go ahead and give us a follow over on our Twitch channel. Maybe a sub if you're feeling generous. We have a couple other emotes coming in here pretty soon, including my face. If you've enjoyed the cast, you can follow us on Twitter as well, at moonducktv. I'm Mont. You can follow me at Montota. Purge is at Purge Gamers. Pintbuckle, our producer and observer, over at Pintbuckle. Lurkaderp, our stats lady for today, is over at Lurkaderp. And the rest of the crew, you guys know where to see him over at moonducktv, our website, if you're interested about the rest of the casters and crew that we've got here for Moonduck. It's been an absolute pleasure giving you guys this tournament, being able to cast for you every evening. Have an excellent evening, guys. Congratulations to compLexity, and we'll see you all for Captain's Draft here in the near future.